James Bond. Who will be the next James Bond? What? Oh my God. So this is British GQ. At the head of all James Bond rumors, surely. I mean, these must be the guys who know their stuff. Daniel Craig's time as James Bond is over, and producer Barbara Broccoli has confirmed a reinvention is underway. So, who's next to step into 007's shoes? Look, I don't hate Eddie from Stranger Things, but there is just no way in hell that's working. This guy on the left, I've seen him in a Range Rover commercial. He was like playing polo in the lawn, and he had to like fetch a ball for somebody, and she had like a big dog and a lot of steps. And I was like, is he a tennis star? Like, who is this guy? Guy on the right, that's Kraven the Hunter. He divorced his elderly wife so that he can be the next big thing over 10 years after Kick-Ass. Okay. Oh, hey, let's bring in a black guy. That, I think there is a strong possibility, and I'll get into why I think this is the case and how this is going to go down. Joseph Quinn, you can rule that shit out. People were already upset that he wasn't like a super hot Johnny Storm, and his Fantastic Four movie hasn't even flopped yet. Eddie Redmayne, ooh, not happening. Nicholas Hoult, no way in hell. He, not dashing good looking. As Lex Luthor, people are saying he's Agent 47. Luther Ford, we ain't doing a ginger. Finn Bennett, man, he's scary. His shirt is not sized correctly. He's not dashing. Oh, but we have a thug in the role as Daniel Craig. So why not Daniel Craig? Mini-me over here. This guy, whoa, geez, this Dua Lipa's, I never figured out how to say his name. I mean, her name. For some reason, I always thought it was like Dua Lipa. Like there was some kind of rhyming couplet type aspect to that. But evidently not. So Dua Lipa, she's busy directing a Porsche commercial. What would I do? Vroom, okay, yep, They're gonna say stuff, is the world ready for a black James Bond? They're gonna say that sort of stuff. And it could entirely be possible, and I'm gonna tell you why. Man, we've got a long list here. Matt Smith, no way in hell. So let's leave this be and just get back here to our basic screen, okay? Daniel Craig's James Bond dies. What path forward is there in post-lockdown? The theaters are struggling. Kids don't go to the movie theaters. We don't have to make things PG-13 anymore. What is there going for us? What can there be for James Bond? Posit this. Streaming. James Bond goes to streaming, giving a new medium in reinvention. From there, they will have the go code to say, now we have a black James Bond. Because when the streaming stuff is over, when the streaming series is over for James Bond, and he gets 5 seasons or whatever, they will then go back to the movies and reinvent it again. And then they could say, oh, well, you guys were mad that James Bond wasn't white. But don't worry, that was streaming James Bond. That guy over there, he doesn't really count. Like, we were starting again with a whole new thing, but like, if you want to do like James Bond Prime, like reestablish again, he's a movie guy, so we can make him white again for you. That's the path forward for James Bond. If you want to see the black James Bond, it's gonna be black James Bond on the smaller screen. Your phone, your laptop, your OLED. That's the avenue in which James Bond could be black. That's the way they will put it, so that it's the purists can be satisfied when James Bond goes back to the movie theaters. When the Mission Impossible stuff dies down, and we have like our final Mission Impossible at this next movie, we're going to see that there isn't a, oh, well, without Mission Impossible, we can have plenty of James Bonds. No, it's more of a iron sharpens iron type scenario, where without the Mission Impossibles, they're going to be like, well, they couldn't keep milking the Mission Impossibles. And those were making less money. And it looks like we're making less money. We're going to eventually lose money if we stay in this game. So go to streaming. Hopefully it would be a Prime Video series rather than an MGM Plus series. They've done a pretty effective job with the live football without too many crashes, better than Netflix. Amazon, being a huge player here, is going to throw down this gauntlet, and they're not going to be like, hey, let's have one movie a year, and this year it's James Bond. They're going to be more inclined to like buff up their Prime subscriptions, charge more for Prime, or even spin off Prime Video, much to the detriment of society. They don't need to be spinning off Prime Video in the way that they have with MGM Plus, or, oh, you only get the 4K high dynamic range shit if you pay extra. We're going to add commercials so that you can pay extra to remove them. They could do that sort of stuff. It looks like they're getting away with it, but I wish there was enough pushback from the public to try to stop them. Black James Bond is going to be streaming James Bond. James Bond heads to streaming. James Bond becomes black for streaming. Oh, but that was streaming version James Bond. You see how this is going to be marketed in a way that, oh, don't worry, America will get it. This is a different version of James Bond. Like how right now we've got Spider-Man, and it's like Spider-Man cartoon. At least it's Peter Parker. You happy enough? You get Peter Parker, he's white. But Mary Jane's Asian. Norman, I'm something of a black guy myself, says William Dafoe, right? So we're at the part of the video where I have to beg you to hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, because subscribe doesn't really account to anything other than YouTube might someday send me a plaque.